It's And Just Like That, Season 1, Episode 3, When in Rome. Carrie learns of a surprising development involving Big's former lover. Meanwhile, Charlotte worries about how to handle a daughter's revelation, and Miranda ponders the state of her marriage and her vagina. Fat, juicy, and wet. Anyway.
Oh, baby. You guys get to hear all of Chay's stand-up routine today.
The problem is Amanda will be able to deliver it better than Sara Ramirez somehow.
I don't know if that's the problem, though. It's a Tony winner.
Do you think if maybe there was a bit more dryness to the presentation, it could have worked?
Yeah, it might verge a little too close to earnest, right? Like too passionate?
Yes. See, the parts to me that are more cringy almost are the parts where Chay's like, yeah, like in that kind of way.
The worst part by far is the who wants to fuck me? Who here's fuck me? Who here wants to fuck me? Who here wants me to fuck you? Like, just that is like, that's not a joke, Michael Patrick King. It's not, and it's also not funny.
Also, if I went to a comedy concert and I'm lewd and whatever, and the comedian was like, who here's fucked me? Would you cheer to that? Would you be like, woo? Like,
I probably would.
It doesn't, it's like, again,
but it's not a
just like that, and here's logic. They never meet. There's never, actually, they are running parallel lines, meaning their lines never, even if they went on forever and ever, they would never intersect, because this show makes no damn sense. And that is my thesis statement, is that And Just Like That makes no sense, and this episode didn't make any sense either, but there were okay moments.
There were.
But there were also... Why did Chay's set need to be 10 minutes long, is my question.
You also need to think about the fact, though, this is a Netflix special, so this would be all of their best, theoretically. This is their strongest material.
This also would technically be an hour long. So what didn't we see of the set? I'm afraid, what did they cut from the set?
Oh my God. Now,
was it even worse?
In the writer's room, Michael Patrick King actually says the words, now, Chay's comedy special. We knew the audience was ready for some comedy. Yeah.
I need right now, wherever you are you listening on the podcast places? Write it as a review. Give us 5 stars, though. Or write it as a comment on YouTube or all the places. Send us a message. Get a pigeon, a carrier pigeon. Let me know. Did you laugh once during Chay's set?
Or was your face like, my face was like confused and...
See, I wanted to laugh at the last joke.
Sure, yes.
It had been set up so poorly that it actually ended up not being that fun.
And it was a throwaway. It was an afterthought joke.
It actually, though, was probably the one that was like, oh yeah, but it's like, suck my, if you didn't like my comedy, whatever, suck my dick. On other thought, if I had one of those, I'd be a man and I'd have a special way before now. Haha, good night, everybody.
Which is a good joke. That's a good joke.
But when you yell, when your lead up to it is to yell at the audience and tell them to suck your dick, I don't know if I'm really wanting to be like, haha, you're so funny. But again, the show doesn't know whether, they don't know how to gauge Chay Diaz's success either, because we're supposed to believe that Chay is worldwide known, but none of the women have ever heard of them. Nothing.
Which is true for Carrie's amount of fame and success as well. That shifts between who's writing the episode, I feel. Is Carrie famous? How rich is she?
Based on this, you would think no one, based on the way And Just Like That goes, you would think up until, the last episode, or the episode where she is with Duncan's former ex-wife, that is one of the first people to be like, oh my God, that's Carrie Bradshaw. She's like, she has best-selling novels and books, whatever. I don't know about the woman. What do we think about the woman? Okay, no, I need you guys to know, did you laugh at Chay's special? I hated it. Also, do you think The Woman was a bestseller? Also, guys, it's Pod in the City. Let's do our little check-in. We're here every week doing recaps. Right now, we're in the hate rewatch phase of season 1 of And Just Like That. And you know what? I have to say, I'm really enjoying it because
I love it. I'm having fun.
Could do a full podcast about Chay Diaz. I swear, I think I could. I think we could.
We'll do. We're doing. By the way, guys, this is part of the housekeeping. Next, like kind of Wednesday episode that we're gonna put out, like our think pieces, I think I'd like to call them. Is next one is all about MPK and how he ruined Sex and the City. So we're just gonna go deep. I'm gonna spend the weekend going deep on Michael Patrick King. I'm gonna figure out which episodes he wrote. I'm just gonna figure out what happened there and why are you who you are?
Because I mean, he and Sarah Jessica Parker and maybe a splash of Cynthia Nixon ruined all of this.
Yeah, but we'll do another one on just Chay because I think that would be actually we could do a multi-episode arc on Chay and what happened there and how that could have been great. And casting Sara Ramirez seems like an almost no-brainer, and how you managed to take this character who did play on Grey's Anatomy. They played straight as well as a lesbian, and it worked there. It didn't come across it like. They pull it off on Grey's, are very charming and likable.
They're giving the character of Chay like too boisterous of a personality in ways where if they were just a little more like toned down,
yeah,
it would be better. It just seems so like, I mean, the podcast. Let's start. You want to start? Okay, wait. Yeah. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, hit subscribe. Please hit like. Hit share, leave us a comment down below. Even if you hate us, leave us a comment how much you hate us. Also, you can check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/pod-and-the-city. Over there, we do extra episodes every week that are Patreon exclusive, baby. Vanderpump Rules, Smash, and we just got started on season 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, the season, baby. We dropped that episode just on Thursday of this week. And if you are a Patreon member for $6 a month, you get early access to all of our episodes and ad-free. If you're annoyed by listening to ads on wherever the place is, check it out on Patreon. Also, this coming week on September 9th, Tuesday, September 9th at 7 p.m. EST, we're going live for our Patreon for Pillow Talk live. And that's where we get real juicy, like Miranda's vag after. I'm like so... You know, if they wouldn't have done the finger banging thing, I don't think I would be so like focused on Miranda's vagina in all the scenes.
Well, we're coming up. I can feel it coming up. Yeah, is that all our housekeeping? I think that's it. Just make sure you're joining us for our Friday lives. Every Friday we get on and we just kind of shoot the shit about the episode. Yeah. And then here is where we really break it down. So right now,
I want to know why is the title When in Rome?
I don't know. I think does Chay say it? I think maybe they say it on the podcast or something. I wrote down the thing. So we're gonna get into
something cheeky about Natasha or like the $1 Million Will or like call it the will or something like that. Why When in Rome? Whatever.
They're always trying to All right, I'm gonna pause it.
Top of the episode starts with the amazing podcast. And weirdly, as much as I hate Bobby Lee, he actually sounds the most natural on the podcast.
He's grounding it because he is a podcaster in real life. And no matter how many times on TikTok I click not interested, Bobby Lee keeps showing up.
Block. I'm big on the block.
Yeah, but he shows up. It's not just his account. He just still shows up. It's all different accounts.
You have bad things in your algorithm because I don't see Bobby Lee in my algorithm. Not once. Not nary a chin hair of Bobby Lee.
All right. I wrote down this whole thing. So
Let's do it.
And this is how the episode begins. They don't even give you a warning for this. Not even a warning. And
to
let's
be
also
honest, though, I don't hate it. I just hate how unnatural Chay is in it.
Chay's the
I
worst.
don't hate this device. I think the device would have been really smart for the show if they used it in a good way. If they utilized
Right, like
it
non-binary, straight, and then straight woman.
even just in the storytelling aspect of like,
Yeah.
oh, this week this happened, blah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the simplest way, like they did with the original column.
And keep in mind that while they're recording this, there are like no less than 15 producers behind the, like Howard Stern has less people watching.
Also, that one hot producer decides he's gonna jump in on the convo.
I'm like, I'd be like, okay,
let's hear it. I want to hear it.
So we start, and it says, and just like that, and we just hear Bobby Lee. I mean, she's straight up stalking me. She legit lives behind the bushes behind my apartment. She's like horny Harriet the spy. I mean, I get it. I'm hot. And then Chay goes, yeah, you are. I can barely keep my pants on. I want to jump over this table and ride you like a motherfucking city bike. And by that, I mean, after I come, I want to dump you on 14th Street. And Bobby Lee goes, well, she won't leave me alone. And Carrie goes, well, maybe she wants her credit card back. Chay to that says, boom! See Bradshaw with the slam. Bobby Lee says, nah, she's not old enough to qualify for a credit card yet. And then Chay now pushes a button that says trigger warning. And then Chay goes, talking about sex with a minor is never acceptable, especially if the jokes are as lame as that one. And then Carrie
really
goes,
good point was made in our live today by someone that said, who the fuck is listening to this podcast?
Right. Natasha, I think, kept saying that they're making Chay basically Joe Rogan, just like an aggressive straight guy is kind of who Chay is. It's like a what's that?
But what
Kill Tony. It's like a Kill Tony episode.
Yeah, it's like you have to be like a chud type, like or like this this douche dude, but maybe they're expecting like douche non-binary people, like non-binary.
The audience is non. But then remember, Carrie's downstairs neighbor. What's her name? Like Crystal or something?
Oh, Lisette.
She says that she recognizes Chay at that dinner party. She goes, "Oh my God, Chay, I love your podcast." There's no fucking way Lisette is listening to this thing. Okay, so trigger warning.
Designing her jewelry.
Carrie says, listen, I want to circle back to something you said earlier that I'm personally triggered by. And then Chay says, sure, what? And Carrie goes, city bike. And then the producer now decides to push the button and go, oh, me too, Carrie. Again, 50 people back there watching this. And then
they also though that is I'm feeling they did that because we're supposed to get the spark of him and Carrie or whatever, but they don't develop that ever until the very last episode of the season.
Not at all. I don't know when that was. And then Chay to that says, oh, Miss Sis is on fire today. I love it when you bring your pussy.
Miss Sis?
Yeah, that's what Chay calls Carrie. And
yeah,
so
like,
what's the joke? The joke that Carrie made was, I want to circle back to something that triggers me. City bike. Because I'm rich and I don't need it. I don't need to ride a bike around. I have to catch.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think they're trying to do this like, oh, you think she's gonna say like, because the original trigger was about like underage sex, which I'm gonna need Bobby Lee to take a mirror and hold it up to himself and probably stop making jokes about that in general, because I think the jokes are hitting a little too close to home, Bobby.
Yeah, he seems like Bobby Lee's somebody like Andy Dick, where every time I see them pop up in something, I'm like, how they're both in the show Love on Netflix. I'm like, why are you two being like cast in stuff? Still, aren't you both canceled by now?
I just gotta say, like, predators take care of predators. Look at what's. I mean,
do we
want to get into the Epstein files? I mean, on
the Epstein
on Pod in the City, we're gonna get into that.
John, trigger warning. Okay, that's scary. City bike, awesome. So now we're over. The episode was a huge success because Carrie stepped up her pussy by saying these two lines of dialogue.
Well, also, I love how the producer, the bar is so low for Carrie that Carrie actually speaks and he's like, good girl.
Me too, Carrie. Her two lines are, maybe she's not old enough to qualify for a credit yet. And listen, I want to circle back to something you said earlier that I'm triggered by, city bikes. And Chay's like, Carrie is stepping her pussy. Oh.
here's my rewrite. I think we should have, if Carrie just had her own podcast and it was her warming up to doing it, they could have still had people in the studio. Chay could have been a guest on the podcast. And then after being a guest, could have been one of Carrie's regular type guests, maybe. But Carrie needs to be the head of, anyway, whatever. And it needs to be called Sex and the City, and then you need to just continue what you were doing in the original series. But we don't want that. We don't want that.
We don't want that. We by the way, when we see Carrie's apartment at the end of this, I was like, they say on the Writers Room podcast, yeah, and now the audience is back home with their apartment and or whatever. But it's a new show now, and I'm like, so do we want nostalgia or don't we? Or do we like the apartment or don't we? Or like, are you going to trash the apartment later because you're mad at the audience? Or like, what do you, I don't understand what you think we want.
I guess
but it's always the opposite.
I think they started off with the intention thinking people are going to love this, and then tried to gaslight themselves by saying, you know, people aren't gonna, whatever, like trying to gaslight themselves because they realized the product that they actually created was shit. And so it was like kind of like a hamster wheel, just like it never ended. For them.
Well, she comes in to check on Carrie, like, how you doing? And Carrie's like, well, you know, I just have about the death. And Carrie's like, well, I just have to keep refocusing on the fact that at the end, we were happy at the end. And Chay goes, man, doesn't that make it kind of sadder though? And Carrie goes, no, it helps. It's like sad, but like happy sad.
I hate that this is a conversation you're having with Chay. This is not a You're having Chay is supposed to know enough about you and Big that you're saying, well, at least at the end we were happy. What?
And Chay and Michael Patrick King says in the writers' room, yeah. Now the audience now loves Chay because they saved Gloria by handing them that Kleenex last episode. I'm like, so you thought that we were going to be fully on board because Chay went.
That was enough. That was enough.
I'm sold on Chay.
I am sold enough on Chay, but also Chay is so outrageously not real that I can't wrap my head around it. Because even if they were as annoying as they are about all their stuff, they're not pulling out pipes and smoking weed in the elevator in New York City. It's just not happening. All these things that they do are not real enough for me to be like, oh, well,
they're caricatures of what Michael Patrick King thinks. So now Carrie and Miranda walk and talk. And this was, I believe, the very first moment where when I was watching this series, really realized like the tone of Miranda is so shifted. And you had mentioned it in the live. When Carrie says, oh, you're coming, Miranda's like, I listened to the podcast. It's a nice blend of something and farts. Aldi's. She said some word I've never heard of, and then it auto-corrected to oldies, but whatever, and farts. And then she goes, and Chay is funny. And Carrie goes, well, you're coming to their comedy concert Friday night. And Miranda goes, I am. Oh, great. It was like the craziest line read.
I'm also wondering, like, Miranda thinks Chay is funny in the podcast? Yeah, like, then was it that episode? A weird shift here, though, because she's like, that's great. And then there's a cut to them, the same two, walking on the street, tone shift. So, like, 2 seconds ago, you're like, that's great. And then they're like, I really think that you.
Well, now they're walking into his will reading, to Big's will reading. That's why they're going. That's where they're going.
But it's a weird.
Oh yeah, for sure. Our voiceover would have helped there, right?
Or maybe a cut back to other characters for a second.
No. Oh, another thing that we pointed out a little bit on our live, but we talked about off mic, but that this episode doesn't have any of the secondary characters in it, and they were not missed. I didn't even realize. What? Except Chay. And Chay is actually fine. I'm fine with the inclusion of Chay, but maybe if it was
Chay's storyline is also ingrained with the other lead.
Exactly.
There's no falling off with like LTW's family or Naya and Andre Rashad.
Yeah, they're not going to affect these girls' lives. And so all three of them are together in this episode. Like all three of them are on set together. Must have been just like fucking what's an expression about something that's difficult to get these three women together, and because they talk about how that's just a puzzle piece moving these schedules together because they are all three together here, and I don't know how often we see that. And on that note, later on, when Miranda's on the phone with Carrie, they are so clearly not together on the day in the room. They're not listening to each other's dialogue.
You mean when Miranda's optioning the options of frozen blueberries,
Yes,
or chia seeds for your ice cream?
that's Michael Patrick King's example of like the redundancy of marriage. I'm like, this seems like a dream marriage to me.
But frozen blueberries or chia seeds? Y'all, what? What kind of ice cream are we eating?
So we get to the will reading, and they're at Big. They're at Big's will reading, and Gloria's there. And I guess they're going to continue his monthly legacy gifts he gives to all these different arts foundations. And then somebody goes, he loved jazz. And the lawyer keeps having to stop to take a call from his wife because this is one of those zany little secondary characters. Time fillers, exactly. And Carrie is mildly concerned because she's like, Gloria, like pointing at her watch. And Gloria's like, I know you have somewhere to be. Cut to brunch. Charlotte's waiting for Carrie. Carrie knows she has this will reading. She also, there's nothing where she, because it has Charlotte looking at her phone like, what the fuck? Like, where is she? So Carrie's sitting at this will reading. They're on a break. And Carrie's like, I have to leave. But she's not picking up her phone and texting Charlotte, hey, I'm going to be at least half hour, right?
Also, why are we scheduling the beginning of our lunch or brunch close enough to the will reading? What was it scheduled for 15 minutes after it was supposed to start? Because why would Charlotte already, again, whatever. They want to think through stupid shit, but they don't want to think through actual things that would like make people not want to bang their head into a wall when they're watching the episode.
Well, at brunch, Stanford arrives and Charlotte is very standoffish. Like, oh, well, hi, what are you doing?
She's awful, actually.
Yes, she's being awful.
And I'm completely on Stanford's side.
Stanford's so cute. He's like, she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, lunch. And then he like points at this little like fork and spoon, like, he goes,
his character, I'm sad they actually couldn't keep him because he's actually one of the, if they wouldn't have made him, I hated how bitchy he was last episode, but he actually is one of the, he like delivers his lines in a tolerable way. He is still enjoyable in his scenes, and actually his character is, I think that Michael Patrick King, I think that Stanford and Anthony are two sides of him at this point, and Stanford is the like one that you actually like, and then Anthony, the way that Anthony is about rock is to me Michael Patrick King giving his real feelings about people being non-binary, but the guise of Anthony, like, oh honey, she'll figure it. She doesn't even know what she's doing, but I'm sorry, but, and I get that there are self-hating gays out there and people in that community, but and of course being non-binary and gay are not the same thing. So someone delete your comment now. I get it. But I think that I feel like your gay uncle would probably be the first person to be like, oh yeah, they would call you, they would like, there's no way that they would be like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She needs more deodorant. I just don't believe that. I think that's Michael Patrick King being a fuddy-duddy piece of shit while also trying to be like, we need to educate everyone about non-binary people.
I agree with that. Charlotte goes, well, I've been searching everywhere for a restaurant and that Carrie hasn't been to with Big. And then Charlotte reserved a table for 3. They argue about if a 3-top is a 4-top. And I'm like, has MPK ever served tables or like sat at a table?
I actually don't think Michael Patrick King eats at restaurants where he isn't in like a separate room or he has a reserved table. You know, I just, he goes to too bougie of places. I mean, they also, again, punish Stanford. They continue to punish this man, getting him hit by the door repeatedly to be like, you know what, little dumb gay man, you're wrong. You're wrong. You shouldn't be involved in this group. Get hit with the door, you little bitch.
Well, Stanford goes, and Charlotte goes, what? And he goes, this has been building for years, so I'm just going to say it. You think I'm not part of the inner circle. So anyway, this is where I figure this is continuing the storyline that was clearly starting to be developed for his arc of this season, which is, I guess, I'm Carrie's best friend, and you aren't. And I guess that
could
was
have been actually a really nice way to develop him into the group.
sure.
I've been like, I've always felt like an outsider, and then him and Charlotte have a scene, which in 2 episodes would make sense if she was like, "I'm so sorry. I want to be like, I don't ever want you to feel whatever. Like my daughter, my child is, you know, non-binary.
Yeah,
I accept them, and I
great.
want to accept you into our bed."
Maybe that was the arc, though. Maybe it was going to be Anthony being like, "No, she'll get over it," and then maybe Stanford was going to be the voice of reason. Maybe, but that might be giving too much credit to the
We
writer.
also need a reason for Anthony and him to have broken up, right?
Yeah, no, but he was gonna go to. Well, I don't know. No, they had a full story for him. Then they knew he was passing, so they wrote a goodbye scene, and then he wasn't even able to do that. So they did the throwaway brush under the rug. But we're back at the lawyer's office, and Gloria reads that Big is leaving Natasha, who they've given the last name Najinski. You can see it on the paper as a clear Easter egg to all of us. But then, as I said in the live, it's negating the joke from the original series when Carrie says it flippantly, like this Najinski. It negates that joke, which irritates me a lot.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think that, again, they have any reverence, though, for the original series.
No, of course not. Maybe that this is okay. So back at what are our thoughts on this that we already talked about in the live, but we think that I guess Big did have guilt, and the fact that it was $1 million he's leaving her. We're thinking that Big probably wrote that in his will right after the divorce and then left it as $1 million, because we were saying like $1 million doesn't seem like that much money.
Though he would have had to change it when he and Carrie got married. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I feel like I probably would, if I were in the position and I found out that my husband who had died was giving his ex-wife $1 million and he never told me at all. I would be like, probably annoyed. I can't say I wouldn't be, because
I would be annoyed.
I wouldn't care that you're giving them $1 million, especially because you're giving me like 700 million.
Right.
I would more care that you didn't say anything. Like, actually, if you came to me and just said, "Hey, in my will, I'm gonna give Natasha $1 million. She was my," I would be like, "Well, I don't know." Actually, I only think they had him give her $1 million so that they could put her in the show and have Carrie have a scene with her. I think that's it. Because I don't think
like,
it
look, guys, Natasha.
I think Big would do it. Why?
Now, as I also said on the live, I had listened to the Writers Room podcast, and they said that this episode is supposed to be a bottle episode in the Hamptons. I love a bottle episode because that usually means that the writing's going to be pretty solid, and there's going to be character development.
The problem is, I think they knew they couldn't write it well enough to have them all just like in a house in the Hamptons, like pondering Carrie's grief. I feel like they're like, "Oh, we'd suck at that. So we got to do some."
He said that in the last episode, when Miranda shows up to Carrie's house, Sarah Jessica Parker was so great at crying when she opened the door that they were like, "Oh, okay, well then that's covered. We don't need to show her mourning or grieving her husband of over 20 years." So
again, though, in the last season, wasn't there something they were like, "Oh, people don't want to be sad."
Alcoholism.
Oh, and Harry's cancer.
Harry's cancer. We wanted to make sure everyone knew that he was fine. Okay, so then why did we even have
you think people are laying on bed at night being like, "Will Harry survive the cancer?"
Oh, right?
Stop, yeah. Michael Patrick King. Here's an idea. Start by pulling your head out of your own ass, and then maybe we can get somewhere. But you're so up it, baby.
At brunch, we're back at brunch. They finally made it to brunch. I'm sure Charlotte and Stanford have been awkwardly sitting together for like an hour now, waiting for fucking Carrie. And Stanford keeps getting hit by this door. I'm sure the writers were pissing themselves at this concept. They're guys. He's getting hit with the door. It's gonna be so funny. And then Charlotte's gonna be right. And then Charlotte's like, I had an original table booked. I had a way better table originally, which we've already discussed. That's not possible. It would have been a 4-top. It would have been a 4-top.
Also, it's discrediting what Stanford presented. Sorry. It's discrediting the idea that Stanford presented by being like, "I was right." Like
Yeah, go-
that could have been an actually impactful thing about a person feeling left out. And I'll say as a gay person, as a gay man, there is a thing where women sometimes, like my friends aren't like this because we're, for the most part, but where it'll be like, oh, we're gonna have a girls' night or whatever. Or it's like, oh, it's just the girls and whatever. Or it's just the girls and just the guys. But you're not invited to just the guys part, and then you're not invited to just the girls part. So you're not invited to like anything because you're not deemed like guy
yeah, but
enough.
I think
And you're
for
not
me,
deemed
if you're
girl
having
enough.
a just the girls thing, that would still include the gay.
For you.
Just
but
the
there-
girls means safe from straight men. It's a
Yes.
safety.
But I do think there probably are people down there who are like, a man is still a man. And I understand that there is a piece about having a man, and some people don't, some people I guess, the energy of a gay man may be too much for you to like in that place. I want to take it from a way of like you feel intimidated by them, but I'll leave it at you feeling like that's a lot for you. But
Sure. Why was this lunch supposed to be just the girls? Nothing exciting is happening.
I think that was the point, is Stanford being like, why am I like,
well, I don't
what
understand,
the fuck, dude? Why
what
am
is
I
the
not
girls
invited to this
unless
stuff?
you're like doing something having to do with your vaginas or talking about menopause or something.
Though I do think there is a part where Stanford is not Miranda and Charlotte's friend, really. He's like an acquaintance, a acquaintance type friend. And so that's, I think, more the reason he's not included. Where Charlotte and Miranda are, I mean, they don't have many scenes where the two of them just interact, but they did have the one at the bar in Abu Dhabi where Charlotte's like, being a mom is hard.
That's
And
on the
Miranda's
plane,
like,
I think,
it is
actually.
hard.
It's not on the plane, or it
No,
might be
they're-
on no. There are. I think it's at their hotel.
They're
right?
back in the hotel room after when Carrie goes on the date with
Yeah,
Aiden.
that's a good scene actually.
That movie is not bad. I mean, well,
not
there are some
bad.
bad stereotypes. There is some
I mean,
really
compared to
bad
this, but okay. So now we get to Charlotte. With Carrie tells everyone that she's upset about like why the fuck is he leaving? Oh, Miranda also orders another kettle one. So we're supposed
Which
to
I
go,
mean, it is at brunch.
and then at brunch, you think that's crazy?
She's just having straight vodka.
Like a kettle on the rocks. I don't know. Like we're
That's a
in
bit much
theater,
for
so a lot of
brunch,
our
yeah.
friends are like big drinkers. Like I just think, to me, that wouldn't faze me if someone ordered a kettle.
If someone ordered a Bloody Mary or something at brunch, that doesn't faze me for shit. But if you're like, hey, let me get a kettle on the rocks at 11 a.m., I would be like, girl.
But it's not brunch, it's lunch.
Okay, at noon, I would be like,
I guess.
girl.
Well, I guess
What's
to me
the
that's,
rest of your day looking
that's
like?
late in the day for
Because
me.
if I was drinking kettle on the rocks, mind you, I think if I took one sip of that, I would probably vomit instantly because of the taste.
Listen, all I drank was vodka. That was the only thing I could drink, and I could never just drink it on the rocks, ever.
I can't imagine being like, oh, my day would be done after that. If you're telling me I go to lunch and drink straight vodka, I'm back at home in bed on my phone, or likely I would come home, take a shower, stand under the water for a while and try and sober up, then lay down, take a nap, start crying, look at my phone, go online shopping, do things I regret. I mean,
message an ex.
This isn't like jump starting the rest of your day.
Unblock an ex and text them that you miss them. And then you wake up and they've texted you back and you're like, oh, I don't want to
text a booty call that you had one time that you never wanted to meet again, but then you're like really, you're like, oh God, I'm really on edge right now. And okay, that's on Pillow Talk. Check it out on patreon.com/pod.
Carrie, this is what MPK says. This was the explanation to why Stanford shouldn't be there, is where Carrie's upset. And then Charlotte goes, I didn't know. Are you and Big were the happiest couple that I know? And then Stanford says, oh, and she goes, no offense to Miranda or whatever. And then Stanford goes, did you even know they were still in touch? And Carrie goes, who said they were in touch? And that was Michael Patrick King saying like, well, that was because Stanford will just say anything. Like, I think it was a genuine question. Like, did you know that they were still in touch?
I don't think Michael Patrick King has friends either. I
No.
don't. I don't think he knows natural interactions with people that you actually care about and have known for years, because what, your other friends are so surface level that they won't even ask that. Like, I would, that isn't even
you would ask
preposterous.
anything though.
That isn't even preposterous though.
It's not.
To one, like, if your friend is sitting there spiraling out about, you know, him giving $1 million, I would be like, but do you know if he's talked to her? Like, have they talked?
Yeah, that would be
like, is that not? And they're like, oh, again, I think Michael Patrick King, I think he hates gay people too.
Yeah, gay people, young people, people of color, definitely the trans community. Children for sure, more than me.
He hates woke people.
I'm standing up for children. He's making me stand up for children. It just shows also how much they all have to walk on eggshells around Carrie, because nobody can ask her these questions that they should be asking. Like, what else could he have been lying about, Carrie? Especially based on your history also.
Well, Carrie seems so nonchalant about it because, okay, is that scene over? Because she then goes into the closet.
Yes.
Okay. She goes into the closet at home, and the way that she's looking around, it's as well, one, they play this dumbass music to piss me off underneath it. And then they're acting like she's never even crossed to the other side of the closet to like look in any of his stuff, or she opens his wallet and that photo of the dog is pretty, like, it's just there. It's not hidden or anything. You never went and were like, hey, honey, I need some cash or nothing. I think
he's established a very clear boundary in the relationship that, like, you do not ask anything, you don't touch anything, you don't look at my stuff, which is not great.
Well, maybe if the show then, again, the show is too afraid to like really take it anywhere. Except for the Chay and Miranda thing. They're really afraid to like go there with anything where they could have had it be. And this actually would have made more sense when later on she's like, was Big really the right one? If there would have been more like, you know what? He was withholding. I should have been. I am this. But it doesn't really turn out to be. It actually turns out that she pulls a phone number written on a piece of paper out of his jacket and is like, mind you, she does a lot of her touching. It's like this.
Oh yeah, they're dragging out these sequences.
She pets the number. She like she lives to like. She goes and gets the phone. Now, I don't have a landline. I'm alive. I was alive when we had, like, my grandma still has a landline. My mom still has, like, I just don't have one for the money. I'm not that distant from a landline, but please, someone with one, explain to me, can you pick up your phone, call the number, and your own phone rings to yourself, and then you
called on her cell phone. She called on her cell phone.
Are you sure? Because I swear, I thought she was holding 2 home phones in her hand.
I don't think so. But we don't need to focus on that.
I do.
I'm looking ahead, and there's so much story here, and I'm like, mind boggled.
Bang some out.
I'm just going to try to blast through this. Carrie, so she searches around Ray. She finds a picture of the Cocker Spaniel named Goji or whatever. Next, let's get this hot fella scene out of the way. Oh, we missed this part where Charlotte's in bed in full clothes, bra, jeans, hair done. Like, it's now 9 p.m. She's still in all of her
Rock
clothes.
is speaking and acting like a 5-year-old.
Right.
They're like, mommy. It's like weird.
Charlotte says, you need to move over, baby girl. And Rock goes, Mom, I don't feel like a girl. I don't always feel like a girl. I don't feel like a boy, which is
I actually
fine.
really like the way they did this, because Rock was like, I don't like when you call me that. And Charlotte's like, but honey, you'll always be my baby. And she's like, not the baby part, the girl part. And I wish Rock, I started to like in the 3rd season. And again, like my aunt, just like that, like,
yeah, it's like tolerates.
But here the acting is just so atrocious. And again, MPK directed, and I'm gonna put it on him again, because a director, part of their job is to get like good acting out of their actors, right? Okay, continue. So they
We're
have
at-
that, and that's where it's established that Rock doesn't want to be a girl, right?
Yes, Rock is going to be non-binary, so Charlotte, and I don't mind the way they've dealt with this story because Charlotte, I think, would be very accepting. Charlotte seems to want to always be growing, which is nice.
Weirdly, they play it in this episode like Charlotte isn't accepting, and it takes Chay's comedy concert to make Charlotte see the light.
Right. They're at Hot Fellas, and Rock is helping knead the dough, and they're, I guess, renting the space. But get a load of this expository dialogue. Charlotte says to her best friend,
exactly what you're gonna say.
She goes, "Who would have thought that all of this came from one stinky little sourdough starter in your kitchen?" And Anthony, who, again, they talk every day. "Well, when they shut down all the gyms during the COVID, I had to find a different kind of hand job to keep me busy." I can't believe that no one in the writer's room was like, we need to fix that dialogue because that is so unnatural and like expository.
I actually think they could have just left it at Charlotte's line.
But they wanted to get the hand job thing out.
Oh, well, then they should have cut the line down and been like, "I know, honey, this is the best. This is, I barely get it at home. Here's what I needed somewhere to get a hand job."
But John, without that, we couldn't have had the information that when they shut down all the gyms during the, no, that wasn't even, okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
It doesn't. So why did they do that? Because the gym is where he's getting all the hand jobs because he's a slutty gay man. I think Michael Patrick King, he hates gay men. He hates gays.
I do believe that Michael Patrick King does not have authentic interactions with anyone.
Agreed.
I'm just gonna, this is me alleging. No offense, MPK, if somehow you stumble on here and you're listening at 42 minutes and you're gonna take offense.
He's married, long-term marriage.
Well,
I'd
be interested to know how they met.
Maybe they're like Stanford and Anthony, probably.
I feel like he doesn't. I can't. He hates gay people. He hates.
We'll get into it on our episode that we put out on Wednesday.
Perfect.
That I've committed to now. Anthony tells Rock that they stink, and Charlotte pulls him aside. Or he goes, "You're a stinky girl," or something like that. And Charlotte's like, "Anthony, Rock wants to be non-binary." She doesn't say that word, but Anthony goes, "No, she's too indulgent. She'll come back to it. That happens to everyone, and everyone tries stuff out." So again, like you said, that's probably Michael Patrick King's actual thoughts on the trans community.
I can't remember, and I'm gonna keep track. Maybe. Does Anthony ever have a scene where they're like, "I was wrong. Like I realized something"? No. I'm gonna take a wild guess.
We're in Brooklyn now. Miranda and Steve are getting ready for Netflix and ice cream, which seems like it seems like a dream to me. If I was gonna have a relationship, I'd want it to look like this.
Are we pouring raw chia seeds on our ice cream?
Raw chia seeds are good. Somebody got me to buy that at Whole Foods one time, talking about how it would decrease my period.
I put chia seeds in my smoothie, but you're technically supposed to soak them because if you eat them just straight like that, they soak up water inside your system and can get stuck inside all of your stomach linings and all.
Fine. Well, Carrie calls Miranda about the goji dog thing. And this is the scene where it's the editing or something. They clearly weren't there on the same day. So Carrie's having a conversation with Miranda. She's going on and on about this dog photo. And every time it cuts back to Miranda, Miranda's saying things like, oh, but it's not fitting in with what Carrie's saying. The editing is all over the place. And then Carrie says, well, I decided the only way to rid myself of this feeling is to look Natasha in the eye and have a grown-up conversation. So I emailed her. And then Miranda's like, oh, did she get back to you? And Carrie's like, no, not yet. And then Carrie's like, oh, she just blocked me on Instagram. I actually don't mind this storyline. It's kind of funny. And like, I guess the Instagram reference is kind of funny. Anyway.
Yeah, I think this was actually fine.
Now we get to the real nitty gritty here. The next scene has the three ladies together in a cab. So they've decided Carrie's going to go confront Natasha, even though Natasha's done nothing to her, outside of Natasha's office. And this whole banter here, did you pick up on this? This 30 seconds of the three of them actually talking was great. It was like electric. It's just like the blah, 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 like back and forth. Great work. Could we do more of that?
No.
We don't want that. Carrie shows Charlotte the picture of Goji. And this is a good line. Carrie goes, just another bitch I didn't know about. Right? That was funny.
Yeah, but it's like you had 15 years to
right. Yeah. So then they tell Carrie that she's insane, and Carrie goes, God, I hope so. I hope that I like this too. She goes, I hope that when I'm up there and I'm looking at Natasha, I feel fucking crazy for this. That's good. See, this scene was good. Like, I hope I get up there and I feel like this is crazy. So Natasha arrives in slow motion. This was also, I thought, funny, but I'll put a pin in that. Charlotte goes, oh, she's wearing flats. I think that's hilarious. But turns out that Bridget Moynihan, is that her name? Bridget Moynihan.
I think so. Yeah.
It's Moynihan either way. Just had surgery or something. So when MPK called her, she goes, just so you know, I can't wear heels. So that's why they wrote the line. And it wasn't even to be funny. It was just to acknowledge, because they thought us as the audience would even notice. She's wearing flats.
How would I notice that? This woman is like the most beautifully aged person I've ever seen.
I know. She's like not even wearing makeup in that coffee.
I'm sure she's likely, done something, but she has wrinkles. She has texture to her skin. I'm like, oh my God, you're just.
She seems nice in real life too. I feel like she's nice. You don't think so?
Well, it's hard to say because I've only seen her as Natasha, and as Natasha, it's like this bitch would hate my guts. She'd think. I feel
like she's also in like the Born first one. Is she in one of the Borns? Okay, so Natasha arrives, and Charlotte and Miranda are going to be at the Starbucks waiting for Carrie. So they go. Carrie goes in, and she announces herself. She's waiting in the waiting room. Let's go over to the Starbucks now. Charlotte Charlotte's like, I need a charger. And I'm sure I would have said this on our first recap of this, but Miranda's like, she's like, do you have a charger? And Miranda's like, I'm going to go up and get a muffin, but yeah, I have a charger in my bag. It's somewhere in here. As an alcoholic myself, who definitely had alcohol on her at all times, you're not handing anyone that bag. Like, there's no way you're forgetting that that's in there. It's like, just imagine like having weed in your bag. And you're not supposed to have it. You don't want anyone. You wouldn't just hand your bag over and be like, just search through that.
Well, especially because they're like little mini Tito's bottles that you've clearly bought to hide in your bag and chug. I mean, like, yeah. But again, they don't think things through on this show. They don't. It would take 1 second. 1 fucking second to think a little harder about maybe just Charlotte goes in her bag and is like, shit, I need a charger.
Here's an idea. Yeah, here's an idea. Bag, she's up there. Charlotte actually accidentally knocks the bag off the table. It lands. That makes more sense. Easy.
But again, they don't care. They're so out of touch with like even trying to be realistic or real. Right?
Charlotte asked Miranda. So
I'm ready.
Oh no, we're not at the. We're about to be though. Don't worry. Miranda comes back and Charlotte was like, do you so how's being a student again? And Miranda goes, now that I know everyone's pronouns, not as bad. And Charlotte goes, well, is it stressful? How are you and Steve going? She's trying to ask Miranda what about why are you drinking? And Charlotte goes, how about Steve? And Miranda goes, oh, we're the same. She's like, I'm wondering if me and Steve are even a couple. Like, we haven't had sex for years. And then Miranda says, I don't think either one of us even thinks about it. I think this is a relatable
to believe that they don't have sex. Steve was always putting it down. Ain't no way.
And he's like fit too, but he's deaf.
That doesn't mean your dick doesn't work. When you're deaf, your dick doesn't get hard anymore.
Fully handicapped. Don't touch me. Miranda says, are we a couple or just roommates with ice cream and a kid? Again, very relatable storyline. You hear about this all the time. Maybe delve into that a little more.
But they actually don't really show any reasoning for why they are growing apart. They don't even show them like annoying each other.
At all. They seem to be getting along.
Kind of coexisting, which could be fine too if they delve a little deeper into like, oh, we're just coexisting. Like maybe Steve has started to sleep in a different bedroom because he snores too much and he can't hear or whatever. Something.
That all the time, like roommate, like we're just roommates. That's what Tom Sandoval said about Ariana. We're just roommates.
Yeah. She kept her shirt on real hot.
That was the worst thing ever.
Did
Carrie's
you love the Tom Sandoval? Did you see the video after America's Got Talent, after they got buzzed? And it's him finding out in real time that they were buzzed because he didn't realize during the performance that they were X'd. You need to watch it. It's like they're talking to him, they're interviewing him. He's like, yeah, I thought it was pretty great. And then like, well, what did you think about like Simon like buzzing you or whatever, which means you're eliminated?
Yeah.
Like, no one but we didn't get, nobody buzzed us.
Oh
and
my
he
God,
like looks at the guy next
to
to him and whatever. And then he's like, did they buzz us? And then his guys behind him who are like 5 feet behind are like
the most extras.
They're wearing sunglasses and they're like, and he's like, oh, you have to look it up because it's
was he singing that weird song that's like, oh, I got to let it go.
He's singing Blinding Lights.
Oh, that's not that song?
Oh, it is. But you're singing.
Okay.
I gotta let you go. I'll never sometime.
Okay.
No.
I'm thinking of that really bad Tiny Desk concert with that girl that's like, oh, I got to let it go. I gotta keep my eyes closed.
This is a song by The Weeknd.
But it sounds like the same, kind of, right?
Kind of, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Great. Sorry, guys.
Back at Natasha's.
I know people don't want us to veer off too much, so.
Oh, God. Whatever. We're never going to be able to switch what we're doing now. They rant on the Carrie's turned away. So Natasha's assistant comes out and she's like, Natasha's in Rome.
After she just saw her, basically. Oh,
when that's why it's called When in Rome. Natasha's in Rome, and then Carrie storms into the Starbucks. And they rant on Carrie's ranting on the street, and she's like, I can't believe that she lied to me. And Charlotte's like, she's the one that should be embarrassed or whatever, like that. And Carrie's like, she's right up there. I know she is. And as Carrie's pointing, Natasha's up there looking down at them. And that's a pretty funny moment.
Mm-hmm.
Catches them, and Carrie's like literally pointing at her.
And then they like sneak away, and that's fun. If all of this, and again, I'm a whiny, complaining, high-pitched gay, but if all of this could have just been shorter and like cut 10 minutes out of each episode, I might have been more interested because you could have done a really quick, fun little back to Carrie, back to Natasha, back to Carrie. Then they sneak away. Like the pacing of everything ruins everything.
There's a whole scene here that can be fully cut. I'm going to blast through it because we could absolutely right now. Maybe. We could just cut to Carrie on the phone with Charlotte walking into the coffee shop. But first, we have about a 10-minute scene here where Carrie calls Charlotte. Carrie's been walking around New York since 6:30 in the morning because she can't sleep. Harry is peeing in the background. We have another Harry pissing in the background scene.
That's all Harry's good for is his pissing and his prostate and his
big dick. Miranda now goes to meet Carrie on the stairs of Columbia. Miranda says, oh, all that walking is just trying to get your head. You're trying to avoid things you don't want to feel. Carrie says, I'm so mad at Big because now I feel like what we had wasn't enough. And I feel like I wasn't enough. And I just needed to get that out. That whole scene could be absolutely cut. Carrie's been
that's the point, right?
It was just, I don't know why they even
redundant information
to fill time. Carrie now calls Charlotte back and she's complaining that about whatever. And then she heads into a coffee shop. She's like, I need to pee. I'm going to head into the coffee shop. Now, as she goes into the bathroom, she catches Natasha peeing. And Natasha comes out. Carrie's waiting for... Oh, and as this happened, Carrie spills her coffee on her hands, so she's got this burn. So Carrie sits outside the bathroom.
They did that, too, so that they could have a line later in the scene that comes off as semi-poignant, but it really was trying way too hard. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Okay, so throughout the scene, Natasha basically gives Carrie everything Carrie ever wanted without even having to prompt. It's literally so ham-fisted here because it's like the two things that Carrie wanted were to know that Big and Natasha still weren't communicating. And so the first thing that Natasha says is, I haven't spoken to him since the divorce.
Right.
Second thing is that
Carrie's better than Natasha.
He loved Carrie more than Natasha. Yeah. And Natasha herself is like, he loved you more than he loved me. I mean, like, did we need to, anyway, so they do that. And then Carrie with her burn, which now I'm believing is they're referencing that back. They're using this burn as like a figure to reference the whole thing. Because Natasha's like, how's the burn? And Carrie's like, better.
Yes,
After
you're right.
she was like
I don't like
by
it.
what Natasha just did.
Well,
That could have been impactful. Like, I don't hate that.
I don't hate it.
It feels, again, ham-fisted, like you made her burn her hand just so that she could say this line in reference to the situation. It's just like, okay.
If I was Natasha, I would die in
Burner.
that bathroom sooner than come out and confront Carrie. I live here now.
You know what's wild is I have had a couple situations like this where, not exactly like this, obviously, where I run into my ex-husbands, whatever.
Yes.
But where you run into a person that it's like, how the fuck is it this person? Like, I know this probably seems unbelievable, and I should be complaining that like somehow Carrie now has run into Natasha across town at a completely different area. Like, this isn't even by her office. They even say that. It's like, because Carrie's like, I'm not even near where you are. How was I supposed to know? But I had a moment when I went to New York, when that time when we were supposed to go to the shows.
You got shushed.
And no, the time that we went.
Time.
Not the time we went to Fun Home, but when we were going to go to Company.
Oh, I never actually saw you.
I was on the like subway, and I had been thinking about this person that I knew from this company I'd worked for.
Yeah.
And they had moved to New York. And I was like, oh my God, that person moved there. How weird, blah, blah, blah. We're on the subway. I get off a subway car and that person is standing, like literally standing there. And I was like,
do I know this person?
The fuck? I don't think so. Cause I don't think you weren't here. It was someone that I did like a touring show with.
Oh,
you did see me in one of my touring shows.
I
when I played like an 8-year-old.
I love that show.
Anyway, Perry just joined us on our Patreon. Thanks, Perry. I think you were already a member, so you're re-upping, which if you guys want to do that too, you can. You can join for a month, then quit, then join 2 months later again, catch back up, do whatever you need to do, babes. Yes. Okay, so great.
So Natasha says, what do you want from me? What the fuck do you want from me? Love hearing her swear. And Carrie begs to have a talk. And Natasha's like, look, I've already given you more minutes of my life than you even deserve.
I love that.
And Carrie has this burn and she's like, here, let me. I didn't mind this device that Natasha, I think it's just that Moynihan plays it really well, but she's like, you need to put ice on that. So she like grabs the ice out of her cup and puts it in a Ziploc bag that she has that used to have like snacks in it first.
That was kind of smart because they use the bag of snacks to be like, this was my son's, blah, blah, blah. And in a way, that's good because it's showing in the story that like Big and Carrie are like nothing to Natasha at this point. You know what I mean? Like Natasha has everything she's wanted anyway. And so I liked that. It's very convenient for Carrie because she gets off pretty scot-free at the end of this, but
absolutely, well, she goes, okay, so immediately Natasha gives her what she wants. She's like, if this is about the will, then I already told him to give it to charity. And I don't know why he gave it to me. I haven't talked to him since the divorce. So Carrie gets that. And then Natasha goes, classic. John, always a puzzle, at least with me. She goes, I still don't know why he even married me when he was always in love with you. I don't know if she would offer it up like that. I don't think I ever would. Fuck no. I'm not giving that to you.
Because you wouldn't give that other person even the satisfaction.
No,
sorry.
So she wouldn't be following around the city.
I'm struggling. I would love to be able to reject $1 million from anyone. I mean, I wouldn't take it from, certain people like Vladimir Putin, but my ex-husband who cheated on me, giving me $1 million in his will, bitch, I'd say give me 2. There's no way I'd be like, oh, I don't want that. Come on.
Well, Carrie says, I think the money was probably a way for him to say how sorry he was. He was a finance guy. He was never really great with words. And then also I'm like, says the writer. So you're a writer and you have sealed yourself for life to a man who doesn't fucking speak.
That's what Carrie wanted. And that's why, again, she is, guys, check this out. She's probably a narcissist because one of the questions is, do you pursue like relationships or something for to like raise your status, blah blah blah, like something like that. And you know what? I think that is part of why she was with Big, because
you're a writer and you married someone who doesn't like to talk to you or say words ever.
And he also likes to watch TV in bed.
The end of romance. Natasha goes, it's all good. It's all in the past, but maybe we shouldn't follow each other on Instagram. Now, this is where I thought the episode was over. And okay, we have time.
I knew it was coming.
I'm about to perform. My assistant is downstairs, so she's gonna hear all this. I warned her at her interview.
Should we do this so you can really?
No, I don't like this at all. I hate this. I'd rather have you bigger. All right, but you have to play the part of the ensemble.
Okay. I'm gonna vacillate. I think that is that the word, between Miranda, Carrie, Charlotte, and the general audience.
It's
well, actually, this is much of Carrie's reaction the whole time. You could just look at the cover here. Charlotte, much of the time, is like, "Oh my god, all these queers!" Oh, and then Miranda's like, "My pussy,
my pussy's so wet." Okay. So we started. Everyone's already laughing, and Chay goes,
like,
"Oh yeah." So I've dated a lot in my life. I've dated men. Woo! I've dated women. Woo! I've dated men who actually know how to please a woman. He was nice. I've dated pretty much everyone in here.
I fucked her.
In fact, cheer if I fucked you.
Yeah.
Cheer if you fucked me.
Oh.
Cheer if you want me to fuck you.
In my butt.
You know, a lot of people don't know how to process gender individuality. And that's because every time we are represented in mainstream media, we have to be from some other galaxy, right? Or like some super skinny model. Or like an ethereal magical elf with an ethereal magical elf septum nose ring.
I want to be the audience here, but I do need to comment for a second. So what they're equating is that, and I'm just going to say they, as in Michael Patrick King and them, is that every representation of non-binary people is always some skinny waif, which I will kind of agree on that. The ones that are famous in our zeitgeist or like people are whatever. And then, well, I don't know. And then that they have like nose rings, and I don't like too that this idea is leading us that non-binary people are used in tokenized ways, and then you've used a non-binary person as in a tokenized way. So I'll let you continue.
And again, everyone, please remember, this is a comedy show. This is a comedy routine.
Also, though, you do have to put in your mind that like this is a comedy set that is being performed by a non-binary. She says she's Mexican, right? I believe, right? Like a Mexican non-binary queen, I think is how they describe themselves. And it's being written by a 70-year-old, like out of touch, rich white
but
dude.
It's Sara Ramirez's actual story that they obviously took and made worse. Okay, here we go.
What?
Oh, and check it out. When we are earthbound, we're always at a murder scene. We're never at a birthday party.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's always only one of us. Never with a friend or one sad non-binary character or just one sad trans character just wandering. I'm so sad and alone. I'm so sad and alone.
There's a lot of physical comedy.
You're wrong here, John, because right there, no one's laughing. Everyone's just going, nodding aggressively. It's getting deep.
So I don't like that point, because if that is a point you are making, you never. Oh, well, you did actually have one person, another trans character, which was the person who worked at the vet with Chay Diaz.
They didn't work there. They just met them at the vet. And then that's who Chay ends up with, I guess, at the end of our arc with them.
Oh, not that person. I mean the boss at the vet.
Oh, yeah. The Asian
lady. What's bizarre here to me is you're intelligent. You're somehow able to realize that that characters are always used in this way. You're able to reference that in this comedy set. And then you can't realize that you're doing the same thing.
You're doing this.
I'm not understanding that.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Look, it's okay to be sad and alone, right? There's plenty to be sad about.
Mhm.
But I've got news for those motherfuckers. I'm not always sad.
Yeah! Woo! You tell them, Chay.
I laugh all the fucking time. And I'm not always alone. I have community. I have allies.
Okay, I'm sorry though.
Friends.
Again, is this funny? The line's like, I laugh all the time. What? I am community, motherfuckers. And they're like, okay, geez. I mean, I would probably the audience reaction would be like,
we're gonna bring it down now here. Listen, put our real asses on TV, okay? All right. Yeah.
And in that moment, Chay also turns around and like spanks their own butt.
It's like when Tyra said, kiss my fat ass. And then
this is the Tyra show. Remember when she pretended to get that she got bitten by a dog and then she had rabies?
When she pretended to be homeless.
Remember when she had the fat picture and then she went and got more fat suited and then went out in public so she could really feel how fatties feel?
Yeah, you're not making any point that we don't know, Tyra. Basically, I think the world can handle it. And you know how I know they can handle it? Because my own family handled it. I'm half Mexican, half Irish, all Catholic. That is a lot of rice and beads. Now,
okay,
that's a good. It's not beads? A good joke, but I get the joke.
BEADS.
Yes, so I get it's rice and beans, but it's rice and beads because Catholic.
Yeah, but I grew up Catholic. What the fuck is a bead? What is beads?
The rosary.
A rosary.
Yes.
Beads?
But that's a hard joke to say when beans sounds like bead.
The first time listening, I thought she said beans, and then I listened to it back, and then I was like, "Oh, beads." It's just a dumb joke.
It's at least a joke, but it's not funny. This Thanksgiving, I came out to my family. I stood in the living room, and I was like, "Family."
Okay, though. Okay. God, go.
I love you. And I just want you to know.
So at this point, God damn it. They get so.
Oh, they're breaking.
They pull back. They are there like straight. They're like this, dead face, staring, like literally giving the Cynthia Erivo treatment here, staring down the lens of the camera. And they're like, I'm non-binary. I mean, it's.
I want you to know that I am queer. Woo! Oh yeah, and non-binary, and bisexual. Snap, 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 snaps in the audience. Snap, snap, snap. And they were like, "That's nice. Can you move? You're blocking the game." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's it. I set aside 4 hours for this, but okay, all right. Seriously though, I fucking lucked out with my family, dude. My family fucking loves me. My family is all loving and all acceptance and just don't block the fucking game. And just because my family loves me does not mean that they're confused, that they're not confused, okay? I am like an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. They're so confused, okay? Yeah, okay, yeah.
What a topical reference, Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I think we are who we are these days. You know, it's like, oh, he, she, they, them. Oh, please tell me which box to check. Also, who's saying that to you. But you know what I say?
No one.
I say better to be confused than to be sure. Right? Yeah, right. You're right. And this is where Miranda's like, because when you're sure, then nothing can change. And we all have something we need to change.
Though, is this also when they keep zooming in Charlotte, and Charlotte's like...
That too. It's killing two birds with one stone here. And we all have something we need to change. I mean, some of us have something we really need to change. Change it. You're not happy with who you are? Step out of the box and change it. Change your address. Change your job. Change your mind. Change your gender. Change your shirt. No, man, change your... Oh, God, change your shirt. Okay, sorry. No, yeah. So change your life, change your mind, change your gender, change your shirt. Then she points out some guy in the audience and she goes, no, man, seriously, change your shirt. Banana Republic hasn't sold that shirt in like 5 years.
That is when tomatoes should, like, if they weren't already there, that is awful. A Banana Republic reference, like, oh my God, okay.
So I just want to say to all those people out there who are so fucking sure, all those people on TV and who write for newspapers and magazines and who run news shows and everyone who wants us to be alone and sad, I just want to say, suck my dick. Actually, I don't have a dick, and if I did, I would have had the special 5 years ago. Good night, America.
That actually was probably the one good joke. It's
That was-
wild because listening to it outside with you just reading it and focusing really on the words makes it even worse. I think I somehow am like kind of like tricked in watching it because I'm watching Sarah Ramirez do it. I'm like, oh, they're going back and forth. But then hearing it, it's like. So the joke count in that set was
about 3.
The Banana Republic shirt.
Yeah.
The Unsolved Mysteries joke. And then
I mean the move move out of the TV. That was not really a joke.
The way
Rice and beans
was so badly done and so in not a stand-up way because it goes like this. They're all they cared about was they were like, honey, get out in front of the TV. Move. It was
it was
weird. It was just a weird way of delivering it. Where like you wouldn't deliver like that as a stand-up, maybe as like an improv actor. God, I know I'm being super nitpicky here, but like I don't think that as that would be like your additional line is just to be like say move again. I don't know. I'm being really over picky, but whatever. Sorry. If you don't want pickiness, go somewhere else.
For the volume, I'm just texting my assistant. So sorry for the volume I was reading.
She's like, oh my God, why is she non-binary?
Really bad stand up. Okay, so I just wanted, so actually I don't have a dick, blah, blah, blah. So there we go. Miranda is mesmerized and wants to go to the after party. She sends Carrie and Charlotte off in a cab and dares to go down into the scary bar.
Okay, though, there was a moment. They walk out of the comedy concert, okay? And like 3 people who I would assume they look like non-binary people walk by them. And then there is ADR that is like, ooh, yeah, I love being gay.
Oh my God. Well,
that is
she sends Carrie and Charlotte off, and then Carrie and Charlotte do some like improv here where Carrie's like, the cab.
The direction was, make sure you guys keep talking until you get in the car because they're like, oh, thanks, Gary. Thanks for picking us up in this big, huge truck.
I didn't expect this big car. Yeah, it was bad. So Miranda goes down to the club. She sees Chay. Chay sees Miranda and says, hey, Rambo. Miranda fangirls out. Oh my God, you're so great. Then Chay, I would be so fucking turned off immediately because she's like, you were so great and you were so funny. And oh my God, I'm like learning things. And then Chay's like, whoa, girl, you need to relax. Like, what is, I'd be like, fuck you.
You should smoke some weed.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I don't do that. Do you want me to shotgun you? Is that where you blow the smoke? It's like she doesn't say the whole line either. She's like, "Is that where you blow the smoke in my?" And then Chay's like, "Yeah." And then time slows down, and we're supposed to be horny for this.
We are. We genuinely are.
They get in there, and I mean, it is fine, but you have not. Again, they don't build things up well here. Okay, there needed to be like now we've had a drink. Why didn't they just do a cutaway in this? Like,
and now it's hours later. They're closing down the bar together. They should have at least had that
something. But within the first 2 seconds, now we're supposed to be like, oh my God, they kissed.
So that's over, and I guess that's the big awakening. Carrie now decides to go for a walk before going inside her own building. She walks back down.
Because they established that Carrie's using the walking kind of as like a healing thing.
Right. Fine. she decides to go for a walk. Before going inside, she walks back to her old apartment, which I guess she still owns. And the line is, and just like that, I walked myself home. And that's the end of the episode. So, I mean, good Lord. Good Lord. It's bad. It's really, the comedy is bad.
Watching this today, as I am usually incensed, I just couldn't get over that this is episode 3. And within already the first 3 episodes, you have tanked your show so badly that, like, even just in the choices, you could have made just slightly different choices and your show wouldn't already be shit after episode 3. I mean, by episode 3, it's already terrible. Like,
wonder if the other writers know. But anyway, let's wrap this up. Sorry, I gotta let my assistant go. But that was great. I mean, the episode wasn't great, but I think we were fabulous.
We appreciate you guys so much. We have a few friends like Sylvia. I hope you're here still, babe, because I remember distinctly. See, I have memory for this, but not for other things. But I do remember you saying, I'm not going to watch it just like that. I love you guys, but I'm not watching it again. But I have seen you comment a couple times, babe, saying, even though this sucks, I love watching it through you guys because you make fun of it and talk shit. So if you like us and you're willing, especially if you're here at an hour and 16, seriously, check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/pod and the city. Over there, even if you want to just join for free, you can listen to like short clips at the beginning of the episodes, and maybe you might be like, oh, I'll throw $6, try it out. There are hours and hours and hours of content over there.
Make sure you join our Friday lives every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They are fabulous. And check out just go to all of our videos, watch them and comment. That would be the best thing you do. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. That's literally the best thing you can do. We love you. And that's it, guys. We'll see you next week for Some of My Best Friends.
Yes. And get ready because Tragically Hip is coming, baby. And you know who else will be coming?
2 episodes away.
Goodbye. We love you.